Hey, how's it going and welcome to another video. So today I wanted to talk about a personal problem, I guess, but I'd imagine many of you can also relate to it. And it is something that I have very professionally dubbed "it's too late" syndrome. I'm sure there's an actual term for like this sensation, but I guess the easiest way to describe it, this is mostly when it comes to like the video game sense, is the feeling that something is no longer worth playing because you've kind of missed your chance or the glory days of that game. And even though there's basically nothing stopping you, there's just this constant feeling of like, I've missed my chance when it comes to this. And I've started feeling this sensation very badly about a particular genre, that being MMOs. Since for whatever reason I can't quite explain, I've been on a World of Warcraft, trivia and information kick lately. I've been watching just a ton of videos about World of Warcraft development and like the early days of vanilla WoW, old raid bosses and mechanics, just stuff like that. I don't know, for whatever reason, I find that stuff really interesting, even though I've never really played WoW. And whenever I watch them, I can't help but be surrounded by this feeling of, man, I wish I got to experience that. One of the great weird hangups of my life is the fact that I'm kind of upset that I never got addicted to an MMO. I feel as if everybody has kind of had this phase where they were either really into Call of Duty or really into an MMO. And I never had either of those happen. I kind of feel like a freak. And it is a weird thing to be hung up on. Like, why would you want to have been addicted to something? It's kind of like saying, damn, I really wish I was addicted to crack at one point. But that again relates back to the overarching theme of the video, of kind of feeling like I've missed out on something that I am now incapable of experiencing. Despite the fact that the thing is totally still there. When it comes to MMOs in particular, the two that I've been the most kind of interested in have always been WoW and Final Fantasy XIV. No matter what, I've always dealt with that nagging feeling, even going back to many years ago when I tried it for the first time. Literally don't remember what year or what expansion it was on. This was quite a while ago. It must have been at least 7 or 8 years ago. But I think it was one of the first times they did play free until da-da-da level, like one of those kinds of things. And I played a little bit of it, and I just found myself overwhelmed by the feeling of, I've missed out on too much. The same thing happens to me in Final Fantasy XIV. I've tried to play that game at least 3 times. For a similar reason, it really is just that nagging feeling of, it's too late. It's over. This game's, glory days are past it. I'm wasting my time. This thing is gonna shut down tomorrow. Which, in the case of both games, really is kind of a silly thing to think. Like, you may have the belief that, oh, WoW is dying, or Final Fantasy XIV is dying, the subscription numbers are plunging, da-da-da, or whatever it may be, but these games are still getting updated. Like, I'm pretty sure Shadowbringers came out, last year or the year before? So these are games that are being updated and being kept alive and getting new content. But when it comes to those games, for whatever reason, I just can't look to the future. I'm so obsessed with the past. I always get wrapped up in thinking, oh no, there's no way, it's gonna take forever for me to catch up and I'm not gonna have the true experience, I guess? Whatever that means, I don't know, at least to me, I feel like when it comes to MMOs, I've kind of cultivated this mindset of, if you didn't get into it in the first, year, then you've missed out. You will never really make progress in this, you won't know what's going on, you won't be able to, find people to play with. And it almost feels like the opposite of a sunk cost fallacy. It's like, I have invested nothing into this, but a lot of time has gone on. Therefore, it's no longer worth it. And looking back, I feel as if no matter how much time has gone on, from when these games come out to now, I always feel this way. I remember back in, when Wrath of the Lich King was brand new, I remember thinking, oh, it's too late. This fucking game is 2 expansions in. Trying to get into this, that's impossible. That was 12 years ago? But it's also odd because I really do feel as if this is basically the only genre where this applies, for me at least. Other than maybe fighting games, but that has a lot more to do with me thinking I am so outclassed in terms of skill that, like, fighting any other person would be a waste of time. But that's not quite the same thing. Like, any single-player experience, I really don't pay it any mind. Like, I've been playing Resident Evil 1 for the first time on Steam, and not once have I had a moment where I'm like, I've missed out. 20 years of history I haven't experienced. Or, you know, Animal Crossing is coming out in, like, about 3 weeks. I don't stop and think about how I haven't played New Leaf in, about 6 years. But it really is something I wish I could either just get over or, like, get a time machine. Because a part of me really does feel as if I've missed out on something. And speaking of time machines, I hear you saying, Fither, why not just play World of Warcraft Classic? Like, that's a recreation of vanilla WoW pretty much as it was. I think it's how it was before the Burning Crusade came out. So isn't that the experience that I'm looking for? And kinda, but that almost feels like cheating in a way. This is a weird analogy, but I would almost describe it as being the difference between, like, watching a sports game as it happens and watching a replay the next day. And that feeling of knowing that I'm living in the present and watching as this thing grows and develops just wouldn't be there. I'm like the most stubborn asshole when it comes to this problem. Like, there's essentially a solution for what I'm feeling, but then I'm like, I don't like that solution. Oh, why not just play WoW Classic? It's not 2005. I don't wanna. I guess that really is the biggest problem, is this feeling of I've missed out on the history, of experiencing the full history of something. I've missed out on that opportunity to be like, yeah, man, I played every expansion when it came out. And even though I myself know it's crazy, I'm just the weird kind of asshole who isn't satisfied experiencing, like, the rest of a game's life. I'm that fucker who's always gonna be thinking, oh, it's over. This game is shutting down next week. But then I stop and I kind of think, like, how much do I care? How much do I really, really super care about getting invested in, like, in WoW's case, a game that's 15 years old? Final Fantasy XIV is getting a bit old. How much time, sweat, and tears am I willing to put in to catch up to everybody else? None, really. And then I kind of think, yeah, whatever. Maybe MMOs aren't for me. And then a few months later, I start learning about, like, World of Warcraft trivia, and I think, man, I wish I would have gotten into this in 2006. So it's just a constant struggle for weird old me. Always feeling like I didn't get into it soon enough, and now it's too late. But I hope you all enjoyed this rambly, insane person video. Let me know if you experience a similar phenomenon so I can reaffirm that I am not a totally crazy person, and that this is something other human beings experience. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.